going on YouTube? Obviously you're back. You watched part 1, you enjoyed part 1, and you're here to find out part 2 about how to save money on rental cars and hotels. So let's get this going. Alright, so you've got your tickets booked for wherever you're going. We'll use Dallas, Texas, because that's the most recent one I've got going right now. So, like I said earlier, Southwest, if you're a member of Southwest, if you rent with certain car companies, you can get flyer miles for renting those cars. So anyway, most cars, I've noticed from experience, rent for a week from anywhere from about $119 up to $300. So let me give you an example of what happened with the Dallas trip. I booked the Dallas trip about 2 months ago. When I went on there, I went through Southwest Airlines. I got my tickets. I booked my car through Southwest. I was looking for a price around what I was paying in San Jose, which was about $210. $210 for the rental car for 5 days, but this time I'm spending 6 days. So I'm looking at, okay, so let's see how I can make this work, because I don't want to break the bank getting this car. Found one, $350. After all said and done, taxes and licensing, I was going to pay $380, $398. To me, that's too high for a car for 6 days. So knowing me being the cheapskate and the guy that likes to save money and have a good time, because that extra, if I can cut away on that rental car, I can have more fun while I'm at where I'm at. So did my research again. I went ahead and booked it just in case I couldn't find anything cheaper, because as the way I'm finding the way the rental cars work, the more of a demand, the higher the price goes. This is the way they work, so you got to get what you can. Now, like I said before, I always do free cancellation on my rental cars, to where if I cancel that car, it's not going to cost me a dime to rent that car for the cancellation fee. So where I'm going, I need a car. If you're going to go to a major metropolitan city, you know, like New York, Chicago, San Francisco, they have public transportation, and you can rely on that, save some money there. That's all up to you. But for me, I like to have a car because I tend to go outside the city. So it requires some driving, and there's a lot of public transportation. Plus, I'm not stuck in between the parameters of the timeline of when the buses are running, when the buses aren't running, what time the train shows up, what time the train doesn't show up. You know, I come and go as I please. So enough said with that. So I went on Priceline, looked for a car. Found the same exact car through the same exact company. Saved me 40 bucks. $390, I think, after all said and done, I was looking at $350. Okay, it's a better deal. I got 40 bucks to save now. You know, I got 40 bucks for whatever amount extra money to spend on my trip, or not have to worry about getting that money together. So I booked it. Booked it on Priceline. I went to Southwest, my Southwest account, and I canceled the car. Didn't cost me a dime. Priceline also didn't cost me a dime. Well, to me, still $350 is kind of high for me. I want to stay under the $300 range when I'm renting cars. So I went to my work website, which offers employee discounts. So if you work for somebody that offers you employee discounts, look into it, because you can probably find some good deals through your work. That's what I did. So I remember that we do rental cars. We get a discount for renting cars if we go through our work website. So I went again to Budget, and I found out they were offering a discount as long as I use this promotion code. So I entered the promotion code, and by golly, they were running a special. Now, mind you, the car, let's backtrack. The car on Priceline was a mid-size compact car. So we're talking, they were saying, you know, like a Chevy Cruze or something like that. You know, something small, for $350 for 6 days, not including gas. So anyway, I went ahead and I was looking at work. So now we're back to my work website. Went on there, and I noticed that they were running a special that if I booked this SUV, a Ford Edge or similar type vehicle, that I was only going to pay $250. $250 out the door. That's a no-brainer. Guess what I did? Bam, I reserved that car. I literally went from reserving a car to almost from $400 to $250. I saved myself 150 bucks. That's how you do it. So, again, story not over. I mean, Up until the day I go, I will keep looking at Booking.com. I will keep looking at budget to see if they run another promotion, and if they do, and I can get the car cheaper than $250. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring the cost of my trip down, because that cost is going to go for my spending money wherever I'm going, or it's going to go back into my pocket. So that's said and done. Now we got our hotel, or I'm sorry, we got our flight all set up, and we got our car. Now we need a place to stay. There's several ways to do this. Booking.com. That's who I use. I use Booking.com, and basically that's all I ever use. I use TripAdvisor also. So I'll go on TripAdvisor. If you've ever gone and haven't seen TripAdvisor, I suggest doing it because it has a lot of things that'll help you out planning your travel. It also will show you prices of hotels in the area. So, it'll give you different prices. So you'll look into it. So anyway, I usually stay at a 3-star or better. I avoid the Motel 6s. I avoid the Super 8s just because I don't like the way the beds are and they're uncomfortable. I don't get a good night's sleep. So, I do it. But hey, if that's all you can afford, that's all you can afford, because you can find them on Booking.com or Priceline or TripAdvisor for about $30-40, sometimes $60 a night. So, but to me, I'd rather spend $100 for a good night's sleep and then, go again. Another thing I tend to do is I tend to rent hotel rooms that have a refrigerator and a microwave. This is why I do this. And you're going to spend a little bit more money for a room that does that. But in the end, you're going to save some money. Because when you do that, you buy once you land and you get your rental car, before you check in, you get settled in, you go out on your first night and you go to the grocery store. And you're going to buy microwavable foods, and you're going to buy your drinks, and you're going to take it back to your room, and you're going to put it in that little refrigerator, and there you have your food supply and your snacks for how many ever days you're there. Like me, Dallas, 6 days. I mean, food's going to get expensive, so guess what I'm doing? I'm hitting the local grocery store, and I'm picking up microwavable foods, and I'm picking up some drinks, and I'm picking up some snacks, so I'm not spending that much money on restaurants and fast food. Saves me more money, more spending money. So that's another reason I do that. I'm finding that when you rent hotels that have refrigerators and stuff, you're looking at $70 to almost $200 a night. Also think about not staying in, this is where the rental car comes into play, not staying in the major city areas. Make your search wide, because the farther you get out, the less of the demand of the room, the more you're going to get a better deal, because these hotels are a business. They want to fill their rooms. If they're not filling their rooms, they're going to get people in here. They're going to give out discounts to get these rooms filled. So, food for thought. So anyway, also check TripAdvisor before you book your room. What I do is I find a room on Booking.com. A friend of mine told me about this at work. I was looking at a room when I went to San Francisco last year, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds like a really good deal." But I was reading the comments, and the comments were iffy ands, they were positive, 5 stars, 2 stars, whatever stars. And so he told me to go on TripAdvisor and copy and paste the address of the hotel and the hotel name and TripAdvisor in the city, and it pops up. And on TripAdvisor, you can do reviews, and I've done reviews for TripAdvisor, where you take pictures of the room and you tell them, hey, this is my experience. And if TripAdvisor gives it a good review that people like you and me who have stayed at that room, then I know it's a good deal on Booking.com, or I know it's not a good deal on Booking.com. It's really not rocket science to figure this out, just a lot of people don't know how to do it. I learned it out of desperation because I like to travel again and I'm on a budget, and this is basically for the budget. If you can't afford to fly, you might want to look into renting a car, because if you rent a car for the week, the deals, they give you a bigger, for some reason they cost less. So, if you want to be stuck in a car for, 8 hours, 4 hours, wherever you're going, it's up to you, especially if you're traveling family. When my kids were little, we were raising 6 kids, we still travel because we rented a car. Another way to do it too, if you're on a budget and you got a big family and you can't afford hotels, look into the KOAs, campsites. Make it a camping trip. Buy some camping gear. Go where you're going. Find campgrounds near that are touristy. Rent a spot, pitch a tent. you're cooking your own meals, you're going to wherever you're going. You know, KOAs, they rent out cabins, you just bring sleeping bags. Easy way to do it. Just gotta be able to, you know, it's all about enjoying yourself and being able to say making memories with your family. So that's it for this video. Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the next one where we talk about spending money and food and things to do where you get to where you're going. All right, thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.